Welcome to the Horizon Bank HELOC demonstration, number 4. Now we're going to go through the booking and funding process. So show you how easy it is to go ahead and to onboard an application. Oops, sorry about that. How to get that into your core system. And again, some of the third parties that are going to make the funding over to Signature, getting the documents into your Nautilus on-base to get all of the data into a data warehouse. So we have various options that are really going to help you close out this process, make sure all of your HMDA reporting is taken care of, your data is taken care of, and everything gets properly into your core, and all of the ancillary documents and closing documents get downloaded into Nautilus. So I'm going to quickly go here. I'm going to come back to my loan that we're working on. Now, this absolutely has different indicators where you are. So this one right now, likely, and I apologize, I should have made this an approved application. So right now I'm going to go through the process of approval, which it obviously would have been approved. Now I know to make this an approved application, I've got to give them some more income. So I'm going to do that real quick. I'm now going to recap what I had shown you earlier, where I'm going to run my engine. It's going to make sure it prices it correctly. Everything meets. I'm going to go ahead and select that as the product. And right there, it's now in a system approved status. I've already done my fees. I've already done my disclosures. So I'm going to come here to my funding page. And I can put this in a ready for document status. I'm going to say what the loan date's going to be. I'm going to select what my funding date is going to be on this. I'm able to calculate, so we get all of our different daily periodics, and APR is disclosed and within Reg Z tolerance. Right down here is my payment schedule, so I'm sure everything is proper. Once this is all good and we've got all of our funding, and here's our transaction details. Here is our worksheet summary. So all these different options are going to be right here for you, making sure everything is balanced. There's a point here. So this is our loan information. If we're happy with everything, and I'm slowly scrolling down, here's all of our underwriting information. I could also indicate how we're going to disperse the proceeds of this loan. So is this going to be a deposit? Are we going to cut a check? Is this going to go to GL? So there's some different options there that we can discuss. But we can put in what that distribution method is going to be. And then we can come here and we can generate all of our necessary documents. Now we do have the ability of having a dynamic document section. So if you're going to use documents that are inside of the platform, I'm just going to do this. If we are going to use Laser Pro or CSI, I'm going to be able to hit this button right here, and it's going to generate an export file for Laser Pro, or I could start the session to generate the documents through CSI. So there's multiple means of getting those documents generated. If the documents are resident, I'm just going to do something that's similar to this right here. And then I'm just going to say view document. I won't create all these. View selected documents. And then again, this is going to create my closing doc set. Everything is going to map over. You can see it's slowly mapping over. So all the information will show up where it's necessary. Horizon Bank, application date, everything's here. And then again, I can just print these. I can get them signed with a Topaz. I could print them out, wet sign them. I could remote sign it, depending on your applicable laws and how you need to get these signed. That's how my document options are going to be generated. And again, just by setting this in a status saying ready for docs and saving, it can move to a doc prep queue. Your team that's going to do all the docs, they can generate the docs, get that ready. As soon as the documents are executed and everything is balanced, it can go back to a funding step. So if we need to change dates because they didn't sign on time, anything like that, we're going to make sure everything is good and correct. We are now going to say this is ready for funding. If we are ready for funding, again, I'm going to copy over everything from the underwriting just to make sure we have the most correct APR, rate, everything. I'm going to calculate again just to make sure we are all in Reg Z tolerance. And then I'm able to come right down here. If we are all good, if we've done our documents, we've checked off on all of our tasks. So we are all ready to now onboard this loan, at least into our core system. So once we have everything complete that needs to happen prior to what we call booking, I'm going to come back to my funding page. On the very bottom right here, it's going to say book loan. So book loan is going to open up the middleware to your core system. It is going to create the CIF record. It's going to create the loan record, and it is going to disperse the loan for you. So it's a real quick process where I'm able to click here. If we need to create a CIF record, I can go in and do that. We do always have the ability of cross-selling. So at some point while we're getting documents signed, we might choose to run a cross-sell and see if there's any other consumer loan products. Also, there might be some debt consolidation options. There might be some opportunities. Depends on the scenario that we're working with, what is going to work for you. But to simply onboard this, like I said, from the funding page, you're going to come to the very bottom here. And we're just going to select the option that just says book loan. It's going to open up the dialog box. I'm going to select book. We do have the ability of doing some integrity checking on the application to make sure it is within all of your tolerances. Once it's done the integrity check, it's going to go ahead and interface with your core. It's going to come back and say success. It will lock the application. It will put a booking date and a booking person. So if I look here on general status, you will see we do have some information here. Just for your edification, we do go out to the Fed, we get the APRs, we make sure we run a quick HOEPA worksheet. We can run a high cost and a high price check on this for you. Is this HMDA reportable? So all this is right here. And this would show the person and the date that this actually got booked over to your core. Once it gets booked over to your core, the system will automatically lock that application because it is now onboarded. And at night, we're going to run two different batches. One batch is called doc download, and it's going to go through and pull any of the documents that were created in the platform, plus any of the supporting documents, the proof of insurance, the verification of employment, the CC&Rs on the property reports, the summaries, any DocuSign documents that were issued. All of that is going to package up and securely download over to the bank site, where you're going to be able to get that automatically without anyone touching it into your optical storage. Also, we have an option where we're going to be able to provide you with a data feed in a SQL format. It will be another batch that's going to come over, and you're going to be able to pull this over and put it into your data lake, your data warehouse, and it's going to have all of the parameters of this application. It's going to have the credit information for this application, and you're going to be able to pull it over to your own data lake where you're going to be able to run reports and analytics on all of your processes as it comes to home equity. Again, hopefully I hit all the steps on what you're looking for. Sales can provide you with a list of any of the third parties if that's necessary. If there's any questions or anything that we haven't covered here, please let sales know and we'll make sure that we get that right over for you. Thank you very much. We look forward to partnering with you.